Hey everybody, welcome back to the MLS Moment. Today we're going to be talking about the 10 things that we get the most questions about adding a listing. First one today is the tax lookup. So on the first screen that you come to when you're adding a listing, there's a spot there on the bottom that says tax lookup. And it has a place for the county and then the parcel ID or tax ID depending on what county you're in. If you put that in there and you click the lookup button, it's going to pull information in from the tax record for you and fill it out for you so you don't have to type it. Now, this won't work in every county, but it does work in our main counties. Number two is, what's the difference between the geocoder and the keep my address? So on the address tab, when you go to the next tab, it's going to open up a map. And when it opens up the map, it's going to ask you to use that location where the pin is. Now, you can move the pin around wherever you want it to be. Once you've done that, you click use this location, and it's going to push the pin into the map, and you're going to get a window that opens up, and it says keep your address or use the geocoder. And you can choose either one, but what it's doing there is it's saying the keep your address one is the address that you've entered into the address field or that got pulled from the tax record from the tax lookup. The geocoder one is using wherever you put that pin into the map, and it's saying that when you push that pin into the map, this is where we think that address is. You can choose whichever one. We advise you to go by the tax record or whatever is the most accurate. Number three is how many days can I do coming soon for? So when you're adding the listing, you can go to coming soon and then a date box will pop up once you select coming soon. You can go up to 14 days past the listing date for coming soon. However, you can add 7 days to that by sending an email into services@realMLS.com and we will administratively add 7 days to the 14 that you have for a total of 21. Number four is, what's the difference between a legal subdivision and the subdivision line? So when you're adding the listing, you'll see a line that says legal subdivision and the other one says subdivision. The legal subdivision has to be whatever is on the tax record. It is not a field that you get to decide what to put in there. On the subdivision line, you can decide what to put in there based on where the property is. It's generally used to describe the greater community that something is in. So if something's in a big community like Nocatee or Woolgolf Village or something like that, you can put that in there even though it's not in that subdivision. So now that's not to say that in the subdivision line you can put whatever you want. You do have to put something in there that does make sense. So the next question is, what is waterfront? Waterfront. Waterfront is defined in the MLS as water touches the property line. You'll see that on the main fields tab. When you're filling this out, it'll say waterfront yes or no. The very next question is this water, if you say yes to it, is this waterfront navigable to the ocean? You cannot say this property is not waterfront but is navigable to the ocean. You must have both of those marked yes or one marked yes and one marked no. It just matters what type of property it is, but waterfront is defined as water touches the property line. The next question is about pools. So when you're marking off that you have a pool or don't have a pool, and this is on the details tab, you're going to come to a section that says pools, and it's a red tab, so you must mark something in this section. So if the property has a pool, you're going to mark what kind of pool it is. If it doesn't have a pool, you're going to mark no pool. However, sometimes you get a little ambiguous. So let's just say, for instance, the property has a hot tub but does not have a pool. You would then mark hot tub and then also mark no pool, indicating that the property doesn't have a pool but has a hot tub. The next question is, how do I add photos before the listing is added? So once you've put in all the information, you're going to click Save as Incomplete. Once you click Save as Incomplete, the option to add photographs, virtual tours, and documents will come up. This is where you can add the photos before the property is live. What does branded and unbranded mean? So when you're adding a video or a virtual tour, you're going to see two spots in there. One's going to say branded and one's going to say unbranded. The branded spot is where you can add your video or virtual tour that has your contact information in it. The unbranded version, your video or virtual tour that does not have any contact information in it at all. Okay? So branded means contact information. Unbranded means no contact information. The next question is, documents. Are documents public or private by default? Currently, right now, the documents, when you add them, are by default private. This is going to change next month where the documents by default will be public. So keep an eye out for that change and make sure that you adjust accordingly, because not all documents you want to be public and not all documents you want to be private. The last question we have on here is, how do I bring fields back? And what this means is when you go to the Add Listing button and you click Add a Listing, what happens is it's going to look through the entire listing and see if you made any errors. If you made an error, it's going to tell you that, and you're going to be prompted to fix the error. What it does is it removes everything that you filled out correctly and only shows you the things that you have filled out incorrectly. But sometimes you want to bring back those fields. In the top right-hand corner, you can click the drop-down, and it will give you the choice to bring back all the fields that were removed when you clicked Add Listing, so that you can change the other fields if you want to. I got one extra one for you today, and that's new construction, yes or no. New construction, yes or no, has been made into a required field. The thing you got to know about that is if you mark yes over here on new construction, just like that, when you go to the Details tab, when you scroll down to new construction, if you mark yes on new construction, the new construction area here now must be filled in for your listing to be complete. All right, well, that's it for this week's MLS Moment. I hope you had a great time like me. Have a great day, everyone.